Hi, how are you doing? Hope you are well and safe and having a great day. I'm having a great day. Sun's shining outside, although it is a bit nippy now. It's getting cold, winter's setting in. I've got the heater on in here and I'm nice and toasty. So everything's good in my world. What have I been doing? I've been painting in Krita, but what I want to talk about today, as always, you can apply in any app really, it's not app specific. This is all about taking your source photo and pretty much ripping it to bits and just changing everything around. I don't want you to be feel that you need to copy a photo exactly it is in the photo. This is your painting and you can move things around and move elements around and just change things, make things bigger, smaller or whatever. And that's exactly what I've done here. With this photo, or with this painting I should say. This doesn't really resemble the original source photo at all, which you'll see shortly. And I think it's a really important point to get across to people, that you don't have to slavishly try and copy that source photo. So anyway, less talking, let's get straight into the video and I'll show you how I went about this. So this is what I'm going to paint today. It's a seagull, very cluttered scene. I'm using a little app called PureRef to display my reference image, which is great. It just sits on the top of any other app you've got open. It's free. I'll put a link in the description where you can get that from. It's really easy to use. You just drag your images into the PureRef window and away you go. And I much prefer it to the Krita Krita reference image, because I can resize and enlarge things really easy, which is great. Anyway, enough of that. I'm also using the Digital Atelier pastel brushes and also the smart palettes. Links in the description for those and where to get them from. By pressing F3 on it. It looks really complicated if you haven't seen this before, but it's not. We've just got a set of layers which create this really nice texture on the background paper. Oops, I kind of shrunk that a little bit. So on the very bottom layer, if I press F3, the instructions are on the layers themselves. F3 to adjust background color. I press F3, change the color, and I want, look at that, you see the reference image. Oh, it's disappeared. Don't know where that's gone. What have I done with it? There it is, it's back. I don't know why that disappeared then. It stays on top. It's gone again. Maybe if I move it too many times, I don't know what's going off there. Right, anyway, background color. I'm thinking I want a kind of a vibrant green. I do like vibrant colors for my papers when I'm working in pastels. And then I'm going to use like a lot of blues over it. That'll do. I don't know why that keeps disappearing. Oh, it's in some sort of, it was in some sort of weird mode then, but it's not. Not had any problems with it before. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. So that's my palette adjusted. I then click on undercolor to start sketching. And you notice when I'm down on here, if on the very bottom layer, the color palettes just grayed out. If I come to undercolor, it all appears again like magic. So I'm going to begin just with on this undercolor layer. I can create new layers if I want, but I'm just going to work on that layer. Dark black, sort of brown color, just to sort of start sketching in. Just change the size of the brush a bit. Sketching in my seagull. That's better. I've just changed the size of the brush. Let's just undo that, start again. it's going to start there, finish about there, I think. I'm into this sketching business. I don't want to have to keep moving stuff around. So I'm trying to, just wondering if I should sort of zoom in a bit and make more, like crop this picture down a bit so it's sort of more like that, as it were. I think so. I think that might be a better option. Start again. Right. I just felt that my seagull was it's not going to have much of an impact on the painting. I want it to be a bit more that should be in the middle there, shouldn't it? That's what I'm thinking today. I'm not, because I've moved it better. Sort of blocking it in a little bit. Can't wait to get this highlights in here. Something like that. Got this post. All there. When you've got your reference image that's pretty much the same size as your canvas, it makes it a lot easier, a hell of a lot easier. Just sort of positioning everything. The only thing that I really like, I don't like this white boat, but I like that red boat. It's way more interesting. So I'm going to lose the white boat and bring the red boat in instead. Artistic license, you see, you can move stuff around. It's allowed. And look at all the clutter we've got. We're going to have to lose some of that, aren't we? Now, do I like the side of this building here? Kind of do. So I'm going to put that in. Actually, it needs to go there. Like that. I quite like this light thing going off there. Just simplifying everything. Right, let's move this picture back. There. Kind of like that building there. I'm just moving all the buildings around really for sake of composition. Like that, I don't know. See, that would come way over there, wouldn't it? And that would all move that way, but I've sort of moved everything around. I kind of like this sort of window effect. So I'm moving this building that way a bit. We'll just have 3 windows, 3 arches. Like that. Just wonder if I've got my Seagull 2i. I don't know. Right, let's quite like that. That's my initial sketch done then. Let's start blocking some colour in. So I'm going to paint sketchy. I'm going on the next layer up. Don't be intimidated by all of these if you've not seen them before. They're it's not complicated. All I ever bother with is the ground colour and those 2 layers there. If you're painting on these, you can still see the texture through it. If you want to hide the texture, you can go to this paint here for overlay mode. Anyway, this one. Pastel 4 basic. I think that will be a decent one to start us with. Decent pastel. I kind of want to lose just so much detail and just have little indications of colour for detail and things. Maybe just keep the same tonal range there, look. Just change the colour a bit. We'll make it a bit darker. That sort of brown building in there. This one I think was a bit grayer. Yeah, it's changed quite a lot, hasn't it? Sort of maybe warm it up a bit. Oh no, we'll go cooler. Square brackets, let's just make a bit bigger brush. That's it. I just want to be able to get in there a lot quicker and get some colour on. Like that. Control key as the colour picker. Use that pastel on each side to get like big sweeping marks. I want to go darker. I want a darker pastel, almost black. So reducing all this detail, look, just to blocky shapes. With this PureRef, you can't use the color picker to pick colors off the reference, unfortunately. But that won't bother me too much. I've got this building in here. Sort that window out. So look at the clutter that I've just totally reduced. I just need to move my source photo across a little bit. Oh, what am I doing? I just don't need to touch any keys at all. Just so I can see what I'm going to do with this. Bring that down a bit more. I've lost that light. I don't know if I'm going to put it back in or not. I'm not sure. We'll see. All at this point, everything's done with one brush. A basic number 4, basic pastel brush. That'll do nicely. I'm just thinking that might be enough for the background. Don't need to go too crazy, man. Let's pick this colour up. I love this sort of red. About there. It's really sort of deep red. I want to use this Pastel 12 blender just to sort of drag that down, push the blue up. Just to smear a few colours a bit, give it that pastel look. Number 4. I'm going to use some different pastels, promise. Just bring this back. I just love the textures on this. This is so cool. Might change the pastel. Let's go with this impact number. I like the impact. It sort of does its own thing to some extent. I think it'll be quite nice to get this sort of textured effect going off here. Got a little bit on the right side. go. I'm going to save the seagull till last. I'm going to go back in on this boat. Let's move the picture across. So I guess this painting's going to be, the title will be Moving Elements in a Painting. You don't have to copy it rigorously how it's set down. Go back to that number 4 brush just for a second. You're the artist, you can do what you want, you know. I don't want this boat to take your eye away from the seagull, so I kind of got to keep the colour subdued like that, really. Yeah. One, two, three. Nice and easy. Get that blender. Smudge them colours a bit. I'm digging my boat like this. A bit like the smudging. Oops. So that's adding a nice bit of sort of detail into the painting without, but it's not going to overpower my seagull, hopefully. Shall we get into the seagull? Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Oops. I haven't bothered to check out the keys. There must, I imagine there's a, if I hit the space bar, it kind of just reverts it back to the last scale. And there must be a way of scaling it up. I've just not looked at the shortcut keys because I'm way too lazy. Oh man. Do it again. What I need to do when I've sized it up, click on Krita. There we go, and then I can resize this accordingly. Now what I've got to be careful of, I don't, because I've resized it, I don't sort of do like a really detailed drawing that would look as though it's been cut out and stuck on. I've got to try and keep the brush strokes a similar scale. If I can. That's too light, isn't it? That's more like what we want. Darker for the wings here. brush. Let's just get some sweeping strokes in. Bit on the dark side, that's better. I still want it to look, you know, as though I've done it without really concentrating on detail and things. Just with a sort of stroke of the pastel. Maybe the odd blend. I'm using that's the very last blender in the pick, number 13. I just used then to smudge them together a little bit. Right. Number 4, basics. Let's try a different one. What's this? Number 3, legacy. I don't know why it's called legacy. I've got no idea. It's nice though. I quite like it. I know this is going to be really hard. I'm going to struggle with this to get the effect I want, because I do want this sort of rim light. I don't want it flicked in like that lot. I've got this lovely yellow light here. Almost with an orange. Well, it's not almost with an orange, it is an orange. Look at that. Gotta get that in. Look, if I look at my drawing now, look, that just comes straight down. And this has got this lovely curve going to it. So I need to sort that out. I want that curve. Like that. And I've got a pinhead on my seagull as well. That's better. What about what? Didn't realise I picked the green up there. Let's just sort of zoom out. Is it looking all right? Yeah. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Beak. Yellow. That. A bit darker. Heath. I painted this on with real pastels, and it sat on my easel half finished for about 2 months, and keep looking at it wondering what to do. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to paint it digitally and see if I can sort out what the problems are with it. And a little beak, I need to just chunk it up a bit. Set, doesn't it, that? Now that's shown me that I've got the head wrong. I said it got a pinhead, didn't I? Just need to just fiddle with that a bit. It's sort of getting there. We're not there yet. While I'm doing this, I'm sort of looking at the top of the head and seeing how that fits in with the bottom part of it. It's okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I just want to make that darker under there. I think that will help. That's better. Yeah, and again, I'm still not quite happy with this. I really want. I want the detail to be accurate, or the shapes, the silhouette to be accurate, but I want it to look really loose, as though it's been done, effortlessly. We're getting there. Let's get the eye in. It's going to make a huge difference. I mean, the photo doesn't help, does it? Because it's sort of not a lot of detail going off with that. Just that's a better blender. I much prefer the number 12. Yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? Is it a bit low down? It's a bit low down, isn't it? Or is it? I think I've got an issue with the beak. Got a bit of pink in there. I want to get that pink in. How's it looking? Oh yeah, it's all right. That looks pretty cool. That's the hardest bit done. The body's not going to be anything like as difficult. Let's go back to this. Well, let's try this. Oh no, I don't want an oily pastel. Soft touch. I wonder what that's like. Let's try the soft touch. It's all right. It's not really what I want here. I don't think it is anyway. Get some warmer. Bit of yellow. White. I like this soft touch for this sort of blending in, but I now need to go, you know, a bit more in your face. I'm going with the number 8, the impact. For the impact, that's what I want. Yes. The rim light is looking good. Who says you can't put an outline around your painting? That's too light. It does not want to be as light as the rim light. Just like that. That's better. That rim light's got to be the lightest. The lightest point on your painting. I like the pink. I can see pink on his back just there. A little sweep of pink. Take the blender and just push it in a bit. How are we doing? A bit like it. Yeah. You know what? You know, if I continue and paint all this detailing around the old seagull, I think it's going to look like it's been cut out and pasted on. So I might leave the back end of the seagull a little bit more just without any detail at all, letting your eye fill in that detail. Soften it a bit, maybe. Pick that dark colour up. Some of that in there. And also, I have to say, looking at this, my seagull is way too long. Go back for the number 4 basic brush. Yeah. I've got an elongated seagull. And it wants to be sort of that size. Maybe a bit. Yeah, I like that. I'm getting bogged down with the detail of it again now. I think I'll leave it like that and just take that blending stick and just smudge it in. Oops, just got to just shrink the brush a bit just to put that down there like that. Let's get these pink legs in. There we go. I think we can just bring a little bit of an highlight there. And like that. That. I think I can go back to sort of normal size now, just to finish off. Let's shrink this down. I really should think about. Let's get the old photo in so you can see the whole thing. Is it? I don't know how to. How did I rotate it? Ah. That's it. So you can see I've really changed the composition quite drastically. I've not gone in with any sort of sparkly water effects. You know what? I don't think it needs it. I think that was just going to distract. I just like the vertical things of it. I've just got a little bit of detail around the head. All the background's nice and abstract and blurred. So I've got these geometric shapes, almost the sort of secondary detail with this boat, dragging that colour down, gives you the impression of the reflection in the water. I think that's it. I don't think if I put any more detail on this pillar, that's going to detract from the seagull. So I just think it's finished. I just got to sign it. Let's get it signed, Steve. I'm going to pick this green up and sign it here. Oops. Hate it when that happens. So don't forget, you know, this, I've painted this in Krita. You could paint this in any app. You probably noticed that I'm sort of trying to show you painting techniques that will work in any app. So it's more like taking traditional skills and using them in your digital painting, rather than teach you how to use the app. There's loads of videos on how to use apps. I'm not saying I'm not going to do them anymore, but I think you'll get a lot more from learning more about how to do a painting in any media, you know, sort of the theory behind moving objects around, and, you know, not just learning how to use the colour picker or something like that. Anyway, there we go. That's it. That's my seagull painting in Krita with Digital Atelier pastels. Link in the description. And as always, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always, much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.